Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's JV basketball game. We have a big rivalry game coming up as the Salette Lions are getting ready to take on the Assumption Horsemen from Walton, Kentucky. They came out here to play us. And I'm Kevin Quigley. Alongside me is Joseph Romero. This game started a little bit late. We apologize, but we had to wait for the referee to get here. Tip-off is won by Salette. Now, John Bronner passes it off to the corner to Andrew Sick, the freshman. Alongside those two, the other starters for the Lions today are junior and captain, number 3, Theo Carlisle, who has the ball right there. Elijah Hall, who just went up with the shot. And then another freshman, number 25, Benedict Blood. So that first possession from the Lions doesn't result in points, but they definitely didn't seem like they were under too much pressure on the offensive side of things. Now a cross-court pass to Pfeiffer, and he's going to sink a 3. Lions have to be careful of that. I watched the entire defense right there all just get sucked over to one side of the court, and Pfeiffer was wide open. His older brother Matt was, of course, a star player for Walton a couple years ago when we played their varsity team. Now a shot taken, 3-point attempt from John Bronner, no good. But then going down the court, Campbell's unable to haul in the pass, so it's going to be Lions ball again, down 3-0 right now.
John Bronner with the ball at the top. Goes to Andrew Sick in the corner. Andrew Sick to John Bronner. John will take it back from the top. It's a big game for the Lions here as Andrew Sick will take the ball, goes to Benedict Blood in the paint, back to Andrew Sick. Andrew Sick with the open 3. Passes out to John Bronner. John Bronner will go in. Pass it back out to Theo Carlisle, to Eli Hall. Eli Hall is going to go in, take the shot, and will make it. Great play. Great play by Eli Hall.
So the Lions get their first points of the game. 3-2, and Elijah Hall is going to come up with a steal now. He's going down court, stumbling, but he pulls up to shoot. Andrew Sick went up for the rebound. It was uncontested, but he wasn't able to pull it down at first, but he just gathered and was able to sink that for 2. But good intensity from the Lions coming out of the gate right there with Elijah's steal. And they're going to force a timeout called by the Assumption JV coach, Father Stanish. Father came up to us right before the game, and he asked us to send Father McMahon a message. He said to tell him Father Stanish says hello. So if you're watching Father McMahon, which I hope you are. Now both teams in the timeout. A notable addition to the bench for Salette is Anthony Carlisle, younger brother of Theo Carlisle. He's getting to play in his first JV game today. We've seen a lot of him for the freshman-sophomore team, and we'll see how he can contribute. Another freshman, Marco Cruz, number 24, has just come onto the floor, as well as Ian Whitehead, number 15 in white. Pass down in the paint, dangerous. There is a foul, and that ball came close, very close to falling through the hoop, but thankfully it didn't. So now Campbell's going to get to shoot some free throws. This first one has the opportunity to tie the game, but it is no good. It rattles around and bounces off to the right. Gets set and takes his second free throw. That one's to the right as well, no good. So the Lions stay in the lead, 4-3. John Bronner moving up the court quickly. I know at least the varsity team has been working on their transition offense, so I'm sure the JV's doing a little bit of the same, trying to get up the court quickly and not let the defense set up. Marco Cruz in the corner, fakes the 3. He's gonna cut to the opposite corner, and he gets the ball again. He's moving around the baseline, and he keeps moving around the defense, and that is going to result in the shot and 2 points for Salette, 6-3 right now.
Conkle's going to take the ball here. Passes over number 4. Number 23 will take the 3. John Bronner will recover the rebound.
And he's going to draw the foul. Ian Whitehead getting set up to inbound now. Bronner calls the play, then sets the offensive motion. Marco Cruz to the corner again. This time he fakes the jumper. Got his defender to fall for it. Attempts a reverse layup, but that's going to fall no good. And then through the hands of the players trying to rebound, it's going to end up with Assumption. And Assumption is definitely being really aggressive in transition, looking to shoot and just beat the team down the court. Ben Blood falls down trying to draw the charge, but he is going to pick up the blocking foul. That looked really good because I was just thinking we have not seen very many successful charges taken by the Lions this year on varsity or JV, but that was an attempt. If he can just get his feet set, he'll be able to get that later on. Now the ball goes out of bounds. The pass from Campbell intended for Kunkel, no good. 3 minutes left in the first quarter.
John Bronner's going to pass on Marco Cruz. Marco Cruz with the ball. Move it around, pass on Andrew Sick. Andrew Sick to John Bronner. John Bronner to Andrew Sick. Ian Whitehead will take a jump shot, just misses it. Bounces right back out as Kunkel will take the ball. Passes to Pfeiffer.
And Andrew Sick comes up with the steal from Pfeiffer. Good hands there as Pfeiffer was driving and looking to score. And then Bronner with a nice drive in and dish off to Ben Blood, who's unable to secure it. Marco Cruz diving on the floor now to try and get it. That pass into Bischel, he immediately takes a shot and sinks it. It's 6-5 now.
John Bronner calls out the play. Marco Cruz fakes the shot, passes out to John Bronner. John Bronner to Andrew Sick. Andrew Sick with the ball. Marco Cruz will take the jump shot. And he will make it. Marco Cruz is on fire right now.
He's half the Lions' points right now as it's 8-5. Now Campbell drives through the double team and gets it poked away. Pfeiffer's gonna fire from deep, no good. Couple players get their hands on the ball, but it's Marco who ends up with it, and then his pass to Ian Whitehead is taken in by Whitehead, but he threw a lob pass and it got picked off by Assumption.
Andrew Sick to Marco Cruz. John Bronner loses the ball there, and it'll be Assumption's ball. Eli Hall goes in for Ian Whitehead.
Now the ball in the corner to Kunkel. He gets it down low to Campbell. His shot no good, and Ben Blood once again can't get the rebound. He just keeps getting there, getting his hands on it, but he's struggling to pull them in. The ball does get rebounded by Andrew Sick, and the Lions having it on the other side of the court. John Bronner pulls up from deep. That one's just off again. That's his second one that's hit off the back of the rim. Now, awkward shot taken by Bischel. He forced it a little bit. He was the only one on his team down at that end of the court. Marco tries to pass it into the post to Elijah, but he's going to get it tipped out of bounds, but the ball will stay with La Salette. And now we see Theo Carlisle coming back into the game for Marco. The defense forcing the offense to clog up down the middle, and there weren't many Lions players close to the outside. Elijah Hall falls for the shot fake. He went way too high in the air, completely unnecessary, but that's going to result in the drive and the shot taken from Pfeiffer. Now the ball stolen by Kunkel. His layup barely falls in time. There's 2 seconds left. Andrew Sick's gonna throw it up. It was hit the rafter, but it wasn't quite close enough anyway. So Assumption gathering that momentum in right at the end. The score is 9-8 right now. Just those 2 mistakes, Elijah trying to go for the block and then also the turnover that led to the layup with only a few seconds left on the clock. So that really came back to bite the Lions. But they have been in control this game, just in running their normal offense. We'll see how the Horsemen conditioning holds up in this game. If they keep playing at as fast a pace as they are, we'll see what they can do there. Yeah, number 15, Campbell, for Assumption, has been doing a lot of work down low in the post. He's having to play against much bigger defenders, whether it be Blood, Hall, or Kellerman, who's coming out onto the court now for La Salette. So the Lions need to shut down the post, but then they also just need to keep their defense spread out because they've been getting bunched up a lot, and that's leading to open shots from the perimeter. Pfeiffer now drives, gets it to Bishel in the corner, and then that pass is going to go behind the back of the intended player from Assumption. Andrew Sick is bringing up the ball now for the Lions. John Bronner is moving out to the wing and looks like he's in more of a shooting role now. Ben Blood dives on the floor there. Nice play as he saves that from becoming a turnover. Bronner open from the corner, no good. Ben Blood's put back, no good. And both teams jumping up to try and get the rebound. It actually hit off their hands off the backboard, but Assumption ends up coming away with it. Still, no points have been scored yet in the second quarter. Campbell drives in and gets the defense in. He passes out to Pfeiffer, pass it right back to him, and that right there is something that the Lions have to work on because, and really need to watch out for, because a lot of the time 2 or 3, even 3 players will commit to someone who's driving in, and that just opens up someone else behind them, and then once they pass there, those 3 players shift out to the outside to cover that same player, and then you can just keep passing back and forth like that, and the defense will just keep jumping, and then eventually someone's going to end up wide open. However, it was La Salette that was wide open back there to score 2, and now Andrew Sick sneaks around the back of an Assumption player and forces a jump ball.
Andrew Sick's going to take the ball from the top here. Finds John Bronner. John Bronner finds Nicholas Kellerman. Kellerman to Andrew Sick. Andrew Sick dribbling. Marco Cruz. Marco Cruz to John Bronner. It's Benedict Blood. Benedict Blood tries to go up for the floater there. Doesn't make it. It's number 1, passing to 15, but they will lose the ball and it'll be La Salette's.
Yeah, Campbell there, as the pass went through his hands, Marco should be playing a little bit more heads up, because when that goes through his hands, he didn't look like he was going to be able to catch it, but Marco still tried to keep it inbounds. That was dangerous. They could have given the ball back to Assumption. However, La Salette's going to stick with it, and now Father Carlisle's going to call a timeout. So Assumption is obviously a big rival because they're another SSPX school. As I think we mentioned in the pregame, they traveled this morning, actually. It's about a 3-hour drive to get from Walton to here at La Salette. So this game is going to carry a lot of bragging rights, probably not as much as the varsity game, but only other games that are probably as important to La Salette are Georgetown or Arthur Christian. This is also the last regular season JV game. So I guess the last one of the season, because JV, of course, doesn't have any playoffs. So this is the last chance that a lot of these JV players will get before they move on to the varsity next year. Ben Blood has it now. Oh, that was close. He passed it to Marco Cruz, and you could just see one of the Assumption players streaking through and getting his hand on it, and he would have probably had a breakaway layup there if he had been able to hold on to it. Bronner right there got caught in the corner, didn't really have anywhere to go. He's stuck there. He's going to shoot over Pfeiffer, and he's going to make it. Wow. John Bronner is about 6 or 7 inches shorter than Pfeiffer, and he just pulled up and cashed a 3 in his face. And Pfeiffer's going to try and come back and fire from the other end, but he doesn't make it. Pfeiffer's shot arc is very flat. He doesn't have much of an arc to it, so a lot of his shots are going in and just hitting off the back of the rim. But Pfeiffer's going to pick it off now. And then it's going to be stolen by Ben Blood, who dives on the floor once again to grab that with 3.5 minutes left in the second quarter. Lions up 13-9. Benedict Blood there. Nice drive in. He was covered by his defender, but he went ahead and tried to drive in, and he made the right move to get in, and that's going to result in another 2 points. And then Nicholas Kellerman rebounds right there after the missed shot. La Salette right now firmly in command. I don't think Assumption's had a shot recently that hasn't come directly off of a turnover and just coming down and immediately pulling up or taking a layup. They don't have much of an offense going now, but here they're going to get a chance to run it. It's just been any time they have had a chance, someone's stolen it. But Ben Blood there is going to commit another blocking foul. That's his second. Ball gets into Kunkel. He was wide open, but he was pointing because one of the players hadn't gotten off the court yet. So now they're going to give it back to Assumption to reset. Kunkel's going to drive in, gets it to Bischel. He's going to get his shot blocked by Marco Cruz from the side. Martin Schoberly pulls down the rebound. Bronner looking now, trying to find someone open. Dribbles to the left side, finds Schoberly. Ball moving around again. And if one of the guards, Kellerman there, dives on the ball to secure it, but it's going to go off of Bronner's knees. But what I was saying there was that if one of the guards for the Lions will drive in and he can suck in the defender who's down at the bottom of that side of the court, then that's going to leave the corner wide open. So we'll see if they adapt to that, but it just seems like every time the point guard drives in, the whole defense just collapses on him, and that ends up in an open shot. Kunkel's going to make another layup. That was a tricky one. He was standing with his back to the basket, and he had to finish over his shoulder, but he does make it. Now the score 15-11. Bronner faces the double team, finds Schoberly. He can't get anything. Marco in the corner, looking. Lions need to swing the ball right there instead of just passing it halfway across the arc. Pass safely away to Schoberly. Bronner gets his 3 blocked, but Martin Schoberly's right there to catch the deflection from his teammate and put that in for a layup. So Right after the shot got blocked, all the Assumption fans started to cheer, but then the Salette fans came right back after Schoberly got lucky and had an open shot right there. It doesn't get much better than that. Score 17-13 now with 40 seconds left. Bronner gets it in. Nice bounce pass to Kellerman. Schoberly double teamed again. Oh, Marco there had the pump fake, and he could have driven around Kunkel, who left his feet, but he was looking to pass, so he didn't do that. 15 seconds. Lions fans start counting down as the clock is winding down. Bronner finds Marco. Marco's going to put it up. That bounces off the backboard. No good. And that is going to be the end of the second half. The score 17-13. Stick around for the second half, which will be in about 10 minutes, and see if the Lions can take down the Horsemen. Welcome back as we're about to get the second half underway. I'm Kevin Quigley with Joseph Romero, and the Lions right now up 17-13 over the Assumption Horsemen. It's been a tight game because the Lions points are taking much more time to grind out because they're going through their offense, but then Assumption's been able to capitalize on the Lions defense not getting back in time, and they've been able to score a lot of points off of breakaways and turnovers. And it is going to be Assumption's ball coming out of the half. Bishel gets ready to inbound, and now John Bronner picks up coverage on Kunkel. Starters are all back into the game for the Lions. Looks like it's the same for Assumption. Now the three taken by Kunkel. He had Blood defending him. It's no good, but then Pfeiffer is going to be able to make a nice save of the ball. And then Ben Blood comes away with another block on Bishel. He got him from, it looked like almost behind, so he's lucky that he didn't get called for a foul. Now Theo Carlisle picks up his dribble there. He should be careful of that getting trapped. They could pounce on him. And then Bennick Blood's going to get his hand on the missed shot, but it is going to go out of bounds. Kunkel there, oh, he dribbled off his foot. Cannot believe that he just did that, but it does give possession back to the Lions as the ball rolls out of bounds. Bronner now looking, sees Sick pop out. Sick tries to bounce pass into Elijah, but it hits one of the Horsemen's feet. So it goes back to the Lions to inbound. Sick gets ready, looking. He sees Elijah. Lions should swing the ball now, but they get to Elijah down low, takes a contested shot, and that's going to go out of bounds, no good. Elijah there was having to work in the midst of basically the entire Assumption team right there. Now Pfeiffer drives in, passes to Kunkel. It's tipped by Bronner, but Kunkel recovers it. Now Pfeiffer shoots from deep. That rolls in the rim, spins around, no good. And then when the rebound ended up in the hands of the Horsemen, they tried to shoot a layup, but it didn't go. And now the Horsemen are into a full court press. Carlisle's trying to work around it. Now Ben Blood has it. Going down the court, he takes it and it misses. He didn't set his feet. And now there's going to be a foul called on Andrew Sick as the Horsemen were coming back down the court. So this game is all of a sudden taking on a new look. But Bronner comes away with the steal to bring it down the other end. But like I was saying, the new look is the Horsemen into the press. It's going to be big that the Lions are able to break that. They've done pretty well with that this season, but Carlisle's pass gets picked off. Pfeiffer goes down and makes it. Andrew Sick almost got his fingertips on it. But the Lions have had a lot of open shots, especially from farther out, which has been great because Bronner's been able to sink a couple, and now he shoots another three. No good. Gets his own rebound. But then when it goes in the hands of Pfeiffer, he intercepts that pass. So Bronner doing a lot out there on the court right now. He hasn't been quite as on point as he would have liked with his threes, but he has made one. Assumption now is basically all on the outside of the perimeter, and that is why they left it open so that Kunkel could cut in and have an open layup attempt. He does make it, so the score is tied now. Salette has not been able to score it all this half. It's 17 all right now. Sick looks around, but still they need to get it to Bronner. He's wide open. They do. His shot is no good again, though, but that was a good job of creating an open shot for him. And Pfeiffer's going to throw up a layup. He was on a breakaway, but he wasn't able to get it anywhere close to a good shot, so the Lions are going to end up with it again. 6-pass gets picked off, and there's going to be a foul called on Andrew Sick. I thought that from our side of the court you could see that the Assumption player moved into him, and it wasn't really Sick that committed the foul, but the foul is on White. So now Assumption gets ready to inbound it. They give it to to Pfeiffer in the corner, who shoots immediately. Whitehead went for the swat, but didn't get it.
Score is now 20-17, Assumption.
Elijah goes up with it, but can't get it. Campbell started to take it down the court, but then decided it'd be better to pass it back to one of his teammates. Pfeiffer takes another three. That one's no good, and then Whitehead dives on the court. There's been a lot of players diving on the court to secure loose balls. They don't want to give up easy points. Now Marco Cruz dribbles down the baseline, tries to pass that when he runs into trouble, but he gets his pass picked off, and then Elijah's going to get his arm, is going to hit, Kunkel on the arm, and so that's going to be another foul for La Salette. Assumption is threatening to pull away a little bit if the Lions can't score right now. Number 12, Dredger, just came into the game for the Horsemen. He grabs that rebound, passes to Bischel, and now Marco once again jumping to try and block Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer's three off the farther rim, and the Lions just need to be so careful about trying to block shots like that. There's been so many of them that they've jumped unnecessarily and then haven't gotten the block, and it seems like all the blocks that have happened haven't come from a crazy jump and attempt to swat. And Elijah Hall right there tries to go down through two defenders and make it. I don't know what exactly he was expecting to happen because he wasn't able to make it. He was the only one on his team down there. Now it goes through Dredger's hands and is going to be white ball.
John Bronner will take the ball from the top. He's going to dribble in to Marco Cruz. Marco Cruz with a deep three. Completely misses it.
He needs to be careful with that. He was wide open. He could have dribbled in closer, and his shot looked like it was about as short as he was from the same distance from the three-point line. So this has been a very, very low-scoring quarter for both teams. The Lions haven't scored at all. Assumption scored 7. Assumption in the lead now, 20-17, and then a couple passes across the middle of the court, and La Salette loses possession of it, but then gets it back. And now Whitehead gets fouled on the floor, so the Lions will see if they can come up with something off the set play. Elijah Hall comes back in to the game to replace Nicholas Kellerman, who had come in for him after Elijah missed that layup earlier. And the Lions are going to make a 2 finally, so it's 19-20 with half a minute left. The Horsemen trying to see if they can get one more play, but it's going to go off the feet of Bischel with 16 seconds left, out of bounds. That's just the right amount of time for the Lions to score. Sick passes in, then gets it to Bronner, who moves up the court now. Fans counting down the seconds for the Lions. Elijah dribbles in. Now Marco's going to shoot a jumper, no good. And Kunkel's going to fire it down the court. Whitehead almost fouled there, but didn't. He did get his hands on it. So at the end of the third quarter, the score 20-19. And the Lions just stalled right there. With their offense, and we're only able to get those 2 points at the end of the third quarter. And the Assumption cheering section has come out with some stuffed lions that they've impaled on a stick and are holding, I guess, to foreshadow the victory that they're hoping for, but La Salette is, of course, going to try and prevent that as much as they can. And it is going to be La Salette ball to start. Bronner with it at the top of the key. Marco with the open jumper. That's short again. His shots have been very far off, which is too bad because he started off the game. It seemed like he couldn't really miss. Now Sick, great defense to prevent Kunkel from driving in. Shot from Childers, no good. And now this is where Assumption can get particularly dangerous, as after getting an offensive rebound, if the La Salette defense has collapsed, crashing in trying to get a rebound, then that just opens up spaces for them to find a shot. But the shot there hit the support above the basket, so it's going to be La Salette ball, and then Whitehead, who was standing under the basket, was wide open, and it took a while, but then his teammate found him down low from across the court, and so Whitehead has an easy bucket to make it 21-20, and now Sick gets the steal. He deflects it to Marco. Marco dribbling down, almost travels, doesn't, and John Bronner draws the foul and makes the layup. It's 23-20 right now. And there's an injury. Bischel is hopping off on one leg. He's holding his calf. I don't know if maybe it's a cramp because it just seemed like all of a sudden it locked up. But he's getting helped off the court now. And now Dredger's going to come back onto the court to replace him as Bronner gets set up to take his one free throw. And that free throw is good. The score 24-20 now. And watching the replay of that play that Bischel got injured on, it didn't really look like anything happened. He was just running down the court, then all of a sudden he started to grab his legs, so maybe he pulled a muscle. Looked like a moving screen set there by Campbell as he knocked Bronner down, but nothing called. Shot from Assumption, no good. Whitehead looking, kicks the ball around, the ball swinging around the perimeter. Now Whitehead's going to get it on the other side of the court. His shot, no good. And then Nicholas Kellerman, the ball was right there, but he wasn't able to hold on to it. 5 minutes left in the game, 24-20, and Father Stanich is going to call a timeout as the ball was careening out of control and Assumption was probably about to lose possession. So I'm sure you can see on your screen the Lion's head on a stick between the two Assumption flags. The flag bearers are holding those up there pretty solemnly. So the varsity game is definitely going to be a showdown, not just between the two varsity teams, but also between the two student sections. La Salette had a pep rally last night to pump everyone up for tonight's game. This is a game, of course, is not as important as the one that's about to follow against the varsity, but the JV trying to hang on for the win, up 24-20 right now. They finally took the lead back this quarter after trailing in the third quarter. And now Kellerman gets the steal and then passes to Whitehead, who comes down. Nice pass to Elijah, who's going to get fouled as he goes up for it, and that is a major improvement for Nicholas Kellerman from what we saw earlier in the season, where he ended up with a steal and he tried taking it down the court, and he ended up, I believe, turning it over. But to recognize, instead of trying to take it down himself, to look for someone else who was in a better position, and he did find Whitehead there. So great play by number 35, Kellerman. Elijah's first free throw is good. He gets his fingers set on the basketball and then shoots it. His second one no good. Whitehead again reaching around, trying to get the steal, but Elijah and Sick both set up to try and take the charge there. Both of them fall down, but it's going to be another blocking foul, this time on Andrew Sick. So Kunkel heads to the line now to shoot two. His first one is up and good, making it 25-21. His second one is up, and that one is good as well. The Horsemen trying to set up their press. Ball gets into Bronner. Now to Whitehead, then back across court to Bronner, and the Lions have broken the press. Kellerman almost fumbles it, almost loses it out of bounds, but he holds on. Now Whitehead pops around to the corner, open again. He did that a couple times, and it's worked. He's ended up with open shots, so he can keep doing that. He just keeps running around behind the defense, down low. Now the ball goes in the corner to Pfeiffer. The Lions defense is surrounding the paint because the Assumption offense isn't always using all of the floor. And Kunkel's going to make a floater there. The Lions need to react. It's 24-25. They're only up by one. They're going to stop the press so that La Salette can come down, and then Whitehead puts his arms around the Assumption player, so that's going to be basically an automatic foul. Anytime you reach your hands around like that, you're going to get called. 3.5 minutes left as the Lions are up by one. We'll see what they can do on this possession as Bronner almost tips the ball away. And the Lions need to watch out for the open corners because there's a lot of shots that have come for Assumption from leaving players open in the corner for three. And then Elijah wasn't paying attention to the defense, and he gets the ball stolen by Kunkel. Ball goes down low to Campbell. He drops it, but it comes back up to the top to Childers, and now Whitehead secures the rebound. It just seems like we've been doing the same thing over and over both teams going down to either side of the court, spending a lot of time on offense and rarely coming up with any points. I think that's just a testament to how strong the two defenses are. La Salette always holds their opponents to lower than their usual average score. But Nicholas Kellerman comes through with a much-needed basket there to make the lead 3 points. Andrew Sick needs to watch how he plays defense because he is in foul trouble. He has, I believe, 3 fouls. And Kunkel's going to sink a 3 right there to tie the game at 27 all. Andrew Sick, his pass to Elijah Hall is picked off. Now Kunkel's probably going to try and score again. He scored the last 3 shots for the Lions, but that shot is made by Pfeiffer for 3. The Lions down by 3 now, 30-27, and it's crunch time for them. Whitehead is passed to Nicholas Kellerman. Kellerman goes in, and he's going to get fouled. Kellerman's going to head to the line for probably his most important free throws of the season. His first one is up, and that is good, 30-28. I think a lot of the pressure goes when he makes that first one, but Father Carlisle calls a full timeout now. Both coaches talking to their teams. It's really a crucial moment, this next possession, because if the Lions are able to score, they're going to be able to hang in there. But if they don't come up with any points, then Assumption scores, then that's really putting the lead almost out of reach because of how slow it's been taking this game to score. Now Assumption comes out early since they obviously didn't have as much to talk about as Father Carlisle does, because the Lions are, of course, in the hole right now. Kellerman's going to get to shoot his free throw after the timeout ends. And the second buzzer sounds, so the Lions come out of the huddle. Hall and Whitehead are the ones that are going to be rebounding. Sick is back deep. Kellerman takes 2 dribbles, bends his knees, gets set. And that free throw misses, but Elijah Hall gets the rebound and gets fouled going up. So that's even better than a made free throw from Kellerman, because now Elijah's going to head to the line with the chance to tie the game, and that only ate up 1 second of the clock, so there's not much more you can ask for. Elijah's first free throw is good, and that's just such a clutch play from Elijah to be able to go in down in a 1-on-2, of course, just because he was the offensive rebound, and still pull that board down. Elijah's second free throw is good as well, and it's a tie game, 30-30. Kunkel dribbling around, trying to find an open shot. He's going to take a 3 off the dribble, and he's going to get his own rebound and make it for 2. The Lions have a minute, so they have a minute left, so they have plenty of time to score. Bronner to Whitehead. Whitehead back to Bronner to Sick. And now a timeout called by Father Carlisle for the Lions bench. That last play, that was just an off-balance shot from Kunkel that I thought was just going to result in an easy rebound for the Lions, but they weren't able to pull it down. Then no one saw the shooter coming in from the outside, so he grabbed that and put it up for 2. So the Lions need a 2 to tie, 3 to put them in the lead. Still 50 seconds left, so there's still enough time for probably 3 possessions, 2 from one team, 1 from another. We'll see what they do coming out of the huddle, because after that last play, the Assumption cheering section started getting really loud, and that was the first time either team had gotten loud. Either team's fans had gotten loud this game, so the Lions finally had to deal with noise. But it looks like the Crazies are bringing in 2. They might be getting ready to bring some noise once Assumption gets their hands on the ball. Andrew Sick's going to inbound under the Assumption basket. So if the Lions can just get an open shot here right off the inbound, that'd be great. Sick looking, finds Bronner. And that's going to be a blocking foul from Assumption. 48 seconds left, and another inbounds play from the Lions. Sick looking, passes all the way across over the hands of Bischel to Bronner, and Bronner is going to put up a floater from the elbow, and I don't know how that went in, but it did. 40 seconds left, Kunkel driving down. Campbell has it at the top of the key. Kunkel at the wing, Kunkel to Pfeiffer, back to Kunkel. You know Kunkel's going to want to take that shot, but he gets to Pfeiffer. Bischel now. And both Kunkel and Father Stanich are going to call a timeout at the same time, as the score is tied right now 20-6. The Lions need to hold off the Horsemen for 20 seconds longer, and they cannot foul, because if they foul on a shot, only 1 free throw is needed to put the Horsemen in the lead. Assumption War Boys making noise again. Now the buzzer sounds and Assumption comes out onto the floor. They're going to get the ball under the hoop. Now Salette comes out for the final 20 seconds of this game. Andrew Sick's going to be covering the ball. Childers has it. He throws it into Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer gets it to Kunkel. Bronner guarding Kunkel. Campbell tries to set a screen, but Bronner works around that one and the one set by Pfeiffer. 10 seconds left. 8 seconds. Kunkel looks up at the clock. He gets it to Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer from deep fires. That's no good. Kellerman with the rebound, and he's going to hold on. And it is going to go to overtime, tied at 32 all. Pfeiffer holding his head in his hands right now. He can't believe he almost won the game for them, but wasn't able to do it. His teammates trying to tell him to relax, that there's still overtime and another 3 minutes to play. The other time this season that we saw overtime from the Lions was against Danville, where it was tied, I believe, 30-30. And the Lions forced overtime, and they came back to win. So they're 1-0 this year in overtime games. The clock gets set for 3 minutes now. Now both teams coming out, getting ready to tip off again. Elijah won the tip-off easily last time. It was actually going to be Calumet, looks like, that's setting up. John Bronner clarifies with the ref which way that both teams are going. And Kellerman wins the tip again. Bronner has it with a fresh 3 minutes on the clock to work with. Bronner, of course, was the one that tied up the game at the end of the fourth quarter with his elbow shot, his shot from the elbow. Andrew Sick picks up his dribble, bounce pass to Kellerman. Bronner open for three, kicks it to Whitehead. His jumper's good. It's 34-32 as the Crazies go wild and the La Salette bench jumps up. Dan Pfeiffer's moving to the corner. Elijah's over there to help with the defense if need be. And he beats Kunkel to that rebound. He sticks one arm up and hauls it in. So the Lions in the lead right now. They need to tack on some more points. They can't be satisfied with a 2-point lead. And Father Carlisle calls a timeout as Kellerman was driving in and put it up. So I'm not quite sure how many timeouts the Lions have left. I believe it's either 2 or 3. But they've already eaten up 1 minute of the clock, so there's 2 minutes left. Score 34-32. And like I was saying earlier, if the Lions just get content with a 2-point lead, then all of a sudden Assumption's going to score and it's going to be a tie game. But if they're able to get a 3 here, even just a 2, then that makes it at the very least a 2-possession game. So now the Lions into their inbounds play. Andrew Sick gets it right into Elijah Hall, right at the baseline. Now Whitehead has it at the top. Bronner looking. Sick into Elijah from the free throw line. His shot bounces around the rim for a couple of agonizing moments, and then it's going to end up going out of bounds. Assumption ball. Kunkel bringing it up the court. A nice defensive switch there between Sick and Bronner to cover the ball without miscommunicating and leaving him open. And now the missed shot from Childers is rebounded by the Lions. They have it again with a minute and a half left. Kellerman tries to drive in but loses it. It's going to be a jump ball, and that's going to go to Assumption. And it looks like every time Kellerman gets it, he always tries to drive in right. He should probably try and turn to his left, drive with his right hand. He needs to be able to either turn the other way or at least fake going the other way, because it's, I think, being predicted by the defense which way he's going to go. Another shot from Assumption's no good. John Bronner saves it from going out of bounds because it was going to be going out of bounds on the Lions, but no one was there to grab it, so it goes back to Assumption. And as the referees call a timeout because Bischel gets another cramp in his calf again. So Dredger's going to replace him again. The referees were the ones that called timeout right there when they saw him with the cramp. So Campbell inbounds from a little bit past half court. Kunkel drives in and dishes it off to Pfeiffer. Kunkel with it again. The left side of the court is open. Campbell has it, starts to drive in. And now Pfeiffer and Whitehead fight for it, and Whitehead gets his hands on it to secure a jump ball, so it's going to go back to the Lions now. 40 seconds left and up by 2. And we're going to get another timeout called by Father Carlisle for La Salette. So it's still too early to really put it away for good by either team scoring. Although if La Salette can score, like I was saying, that'll be a 2-possession game, and it'll take a big effort from Assumption to come back from that. I don't think you can really understate how important it was for the Lions to score first in this overtime period. Now the teams are going to come back out onto the court. Sick gets ready to inbound. He gets into Bronner, and then Assumption's just going to go ahead and immediately foul him. They're going to play the foul game now. And that is going to be a 1-and-1. The Lions are into the bonus now, so Bronner heads to the line to shoot his free throws. Bronner's first free throw is no good, but Elijah Hall fighting for it, and he comes up with the offensive rebound again. That's the second time he's done it. Now Sick with it at the wing. 30 seconds left to Elijah. Elijah to Kellerman, and then Kunkel's going to go in and foul Kellerman. So now he's going to get to shoot. It's just a matter of seeing if the Lions can make their free throws and then keep Assumption from getting possession of it if they miss, which Elijah, of course, did a great job right there in doing. Kellerman's shot is no good. And then Elijah's going to get called for going over the back on that rebound, but Assumption's the one with the pressure right now. 20 seconds left. Down by 2. They need a 2 to force a second overtime period. Campbell's going to take that 2. It's no good. Elijah fights for it, but Campbell gets his own rebound. Now Kunkel has it in the corner. 5 seconds left. Childers shoots. Nicholas Kellerman gets his hands on the rebound, and that is going to be the game. The JV team for La Salette defeats the Assumption Horsemen JV by a final score of 34-32. Wow, what a finish. Those 2 shots at the end, I was just so nervous on both of them, but then the Lions able to hold on for a win, and of course a very important victory, but there's a more important game coming up. It'll probably be in about 15 to 20 minutes, since we're of course delayed from the start because of the late start to the JV game, but definitely stick around to see who's going to triumph in the varsity game, the Lions or